requests?
Requests come through. They come through kabisa, and we are going to cut across every genre there.
Absolutely. All right. Marie Ambo, good morning.
Good morning to you, Vivian, and the best DJ in the continent, DJ Unique. I mean, I'm happy to see you guys this morning.
Good to see you
Yes,
too.
and good morning wherever you're watching us across the country. You know what, Vivian? Our team won.
Our team actually won yesterday. You know we were team
Nigeria.
Nigeria, you know, the Super Eagles.
Yes.
And they did us proud because they beat Bafana.
Yeah,
That
I
reached
know.
the finals.
Yeah, I kind of like South Africa, Bafana. I can't remember the name of this particular footballer, but it's some years back in the 90s. But I fell in love, can I say, with Nigeria or the Super Eagles during the times of Kina Sunday, Olise, you know, and all that, Kanu. So those are the times that I kind of, you know, liked, can I say, or loved.
The Super Eagles.
Exactly. It's my director confusing me, so
Yeah.
don't worry about that. Yes, and then again, Ivory Coast definitely took the day yesterday, beating the DRC, you know, 1-0. So the finals are set. We are the people who actually jump on the bandwagon at the last minute, isn't it? Yes, just to see the cream de la cream. That's what I call them.
Yeah.
Yes, so the Super Eagles will take on, you know, Ivory Coast. That's going to be a tough match or an entertaining match for that matter.
It's going to be an entertaining
I
one.
think so.
Sure.
DJ, what do you think about the AFCON 2023, especially at this
24.
juncture?
We're in 2024.
2023, actually. It's 2023, by the way. I was corrected, by the way.
It's not
2020 No,
2024?
it's not 2024 because it was supposed to have been played
Last year.
but I think because of some, you know, issues, I don't know if to do with weather or something.
Yeah.
So it is actually AFCON 2023. So I'm not
Isn't
mistaken.
that confusing? Because we're in the year 2024
Of
when
course,
we say 2023.
of course.
But anywho,
Yeah, DJ, tuambie, ulikuwa una support nani mlishindwa?
Mi unajua mi ni wale watu ngojanga ile final peke yake. I've not been following up, lakini
You're
nangoja tu
also
final
not a
peke.
football fan?
I'm not, but mi napendanga final. Wale tu mwenye atawini ako sawa.
Yeah. So whoever takes the day,
Yes.
wewe siko peke yangu, Vivian, you're not alone.
We are many. I mean, this bandwagon.
Yeah. So we'll be bringing you updates of that. But remember, the finals are on Sunday, so you don't want to miss that.
Yeah.
The third playoffs, if I'm not wrong, that is DRC versus South Africa, will be on Saturday. So you want to catch that on KBC Channel 1. We'll be bringing that those matches live
I'm
on
still sticking
KBC.
with Nigeria. at
Oh
the
yeah,
final?
I'm still sticking with Nigeria. But you know what? I know Ivory Coast is a very strong team.
It is.
It is a very strong team.
Yeah.
But I want to still stick with
We're
Nigeria.
sticking with the Super Eagles.
Yes.
Go Super Eagles.
Yeah. So that and more will be coming up in the news, including the the death toll in the illicit brew in Kirinyaga actually rises to 10, and also the fact that the the death toll in the gas explosion in Embakasi has also gone up to 7 people after one person also passed away, yesterday, that is. So I'll be bringing you details of that in this bulletin. But let's start off with the death toll from the Kirinyaga illicit brew consumption as hit 10 after 4 more people died while undergoing treatment at the Kerugoya County Referral Hospital. Scores of others continue to receive treatment, with the medical team rushing against time to save them from visual impairment or death. Now, it is now emerging that the owner of the bar where the group imbibed is a notorious brewer of illicit liquor and has been arrested and presented before court for a record 15 times. Let's get the details of that story.
The remains of California Bar in Kangai Ward, Kirinyaga County. Irate residents descended on the tippling house after the death of 6 people who consumed illicit liquor sold here. A bottle here, some refuse of what used to be seats, and tens of the containers carrying the killer brew. A quenching of thirst quest had turned tragic, and the numbers continue to rise. The death toll has hit 10 after 4 more people succumbed to the deadly effects of the drink while receiving treatment at the Kerugoya County Referral Hospital.
This is obvious. Yeah. Ameua in the first place, ameua. Yes. Na mashtaka mengine itafuata. KRA watamwangalia, anti-counterfeit watamwangalia, KBC watamwangalia, polisi nao watamwangalia, so charges zitakuwa nyingi.
Those admitted at the hospital are still under the close supervision of medics who are rushing against time to save them from death or visual impairment. The owner of a joint at Embakasi has been a guest of a state for a record 15 times, but ends up getting a slap in the wrist from the Bericho law courts.
It's also very unfortunate that the perpetrator of what we are witnessing here has been to court more than 15 times. That tells you there is something that is not happening right somewhere. All the agencies of government, I want to urge you to work closely with each other.
And you will equally be appalled to know he has yet another joint, this time in Kandongu in the same county, which police claim they need to ascertain the brew sold there and which bears the same name, is counterfeit or not.
Ningependa kuwasihi watumishi wa serikali kuu pamoja na county, wale ambao wametwikwa mamlaka ya kushughulikia maslahi ya wananchi katika subsekta ya vileo na ile sekta ya justice, na tuache kubishana, tusaidiane kufanya kazi kwa pamoja.
John Jacob Kuria, Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you, JJ Kuria there. Now the High Court has issued conservatory orders suspending a directive by the Ministry of Education requiring parents and guardians to pay school fees through the e-Citizen platform. Justice Chacha Mwita says that after perusing pleadings in the petition presented before him, he was satisfied that the fundamental questions had been raised.
In a circular dated 31st of January 2024, Basic Education Principal Secretary Belio Kipsang directed that parents make fee payments and other levies for all government learning institutions through the e-Citizen platform. Institutions were asked to provide all their bank account details. It is a directive that elicited mixed reactions, and now the High Court has issued an interim conservatory order suspending the circular. Justice Chacha Mwita says that further directions on the petition will be issued on the 13th of February 2024.
Kenyans living.
President William Ruto, while meeting Kenyans living in Japan, has said the new policy that requires school fees to be paid through e-Citizen will eliminate illegal levies charged by certain schools.
We had something like, I think, 3,000 pay bills, you know? Now we have reduced the 3,000 pay bills to one. We are insisting because we realize that there are illegal levies charged by boards of management of schools that go into accounts that nobody knows.
He said the government is committed to ensuring the transition to a digital payment system is complete.
And to the Embakasi tragedy, where 4 suspects in the Embakasi gas explosion that killed 4 people will remain in police custody for 3 weeks to allow the Directorate of Criminal Investigation complete investigations. Now, trial magistrate Dolphina Alego agreed with the prosecution that the matter being investigated is of public interest and requires more time for the investigators to conduct a thorough probe.
Senior Principal Magistrate Dolphina Alego said the owner Derek Kimathi and 2 other officials of NEMA will remain in custody for 21 days.
In the instant case, treatment notes will definitely form part of the investigations. Death certificates will now be required, and maybe post-mortem reports, and just mentioning a few of what could lead to the charges which the applicant assumes could be where his investigations are leading.
However, the 3rd suspect will be remanded at Capitol Hill Police Station for a maximum of 14 days, owing to a health condition.
That investigation of such magnitude cannot be done in a day or 2, as it needs a lot of intra-agency cooperations and have investigations concluded before the files are taken to the office of the Director of Public Prosecution. I equally agree with the defense that their clients are still innocent until proved otherwise. I beseech all of us, and I repeat, I beseech all of us to allow investigations to be done in the most humane and immediate possible way by the relevant authorities, because we are either directly affected or infected by this unfortunate mishap at Embakasi area as Kenyans.
The four are being investigated over murder, negligence and abuse of office. The matter will be mentioned on 28th February 2024. Elsewhere, former Nairobi Governor Mike Mbovi Sonko and 16 others can rest easy after they were acquitted in a graft case in which they were accused of misappropriating 357 million shillings in 2018 while he was a governor.
Whereas it is the duty of each party to close its own case, where a party, in defiance of the court's direction, contemptuously refuses to close its case, abandons the case and leaves it open, the court, in exercise of its judicial function, may close the evidence of that party, provided that this is done in good faith and in the interest of justice.
The anti-corruption magistrate Eunice Nyutu said the prosecution failed to adduce evidence to prove its case.
Had we any such clear sabotage, frustration, scattering, and bungling of cases would be a thing of the past, especially when the cases involve a public agenda, national security, safety of the citizenry, or arise from the loss of public funds, such as in this instant case.
Sonko was charged alongside the chairman of KRA, Anthony Mwaura, and former Nairobi County Secretary for Finance, Peter Mbogwa, among others. To avoid abdication of duties and increase public confidence in the judiciary, Parliament has been urged to make laws that hold public prosecutors accountable in their discharge of duties. Ruth Wamboi reporting from Milimani Law Courts.
Thank you, Ruth Wamboi. Now, the death toll resulting from the Embakasi gas explosion has risen to 7 after one more person succumbed to injuries. Now, this is as the 5 victims sheltered at the Embakasi social hall have left the facility, with the government saying they have been reintegrated back with their families. Meanwhile, WAPA leader Kalonzo Musyoka has threatened that the Azimio la Umoja coalition will sue principal secretaries responsible for the environment.
One more person on Wednesday succumbed to injuries sustained during the Thursday night Embakasi gas explosion, bringing to a total of 7 people who have since died from the fire incident. At the Embakasi social hall, things had returned to normal Wednesday afternoon as the victims sheltered at the facility left on Tuesday. According to government spokesperson Isaac Mwaura, some of the victims were integrated into the community and others provided with alternative accommodation. At the Embakasi Health Center, local leaders led by Embakasi Ward MCA Ricardo Nyantika visited some of the gas explosion victims, as well-wishers continue to donate necessary items.
Nasikia wamekuwa kijaza gas kwa mtungi na shilingi 500. Sasa tunashangaa hii ni gas type gani hii? Wamekuwa kijazia watu hapa. Is it a proper gas or it was something else?
Our team from the county is on the ground. We have a Nairobi hospital team and also St. John's team. They are all on the ground, and these clients are being seen. Those with wounds are being dressed and discharged home.
This is as Embakasi South Member of Parliament Julius Mawathe claimed that an unnamed illegal gas filling station was operating in Imara Daima residential area.
Ko eneo bunge la Embakasi kusini na area inaitwa Imara Daima. Kipo hapo hivyo. Kwa hivyo kinastahili kulewa katikati ya watu. Bado watu wanaendelea kuzungumza kufuata the normal procedure, lakini as of now what we are demanding and we are calling for is for the factory to be moved away from a residential area. It's in between the residents.
On his side, Kalonzo Musyoka warned that Azimio coalition will sue respective principal secretaries in the environment and energy departments for allowing the Embakasi gas plant to operate at the residential area.
My law firm can go on record along with others, and we are clear we may have to sue the following. Number 1, Permanent Secretary for the Environment. Ndiye anahusika na mambo ya NEMA na kwingineko na mengineo. Number 2, the CS for or CS or PS for energy, asimamia mambo ya EPRA na mambo ya kupeana gas na malicensing na kila kitu.
Giverson Minor, Prime Edition.
Well, and that story by Giverson Minor brings us to our first break of the bulletin. I'll be back with much more. Thank you for staying with us. Now, Attorney General Justin Muturi has endorsed the Affordable Housing Bill, saying it addresses issues raised by the court. Appearing before the National Assembly Housing and Urban Planning Committee, Muturi, however, advised the National Assembly to ensure the bill is forwarded to the Senate as issues raised concern counties. National Assembly Leader of Majority, while moving the bill last year, had indicated that the bill will not require the input of senators.
The National Assembly Housing Committee and the Finance Committee jointly invited the Attorney General Justin Muturi to advise on the Affordable Housing Bill, its potential overlap with current laws, and whether it addresses the issues raised by the court. The government principal legal advisor said the affordable housing project should be implemented collectively by various government entities, and any conflict between the two levels of government must be addressed through consultations.
The likelihood of potential overlap between the national government and the county governments with regard to housing function is likely to be experienced in the area of planning and development as provided for under Clause 10 of the bill. Any such overlap in discharge of the functions between the two levels of government may be addressed through an express provision in the bill providing for consultation and cooperation where such arises.
While nullifying the housing levy last November, the three-judge bench at the High Court ruled it lacked legal framework on which the housing levy was anchored. Muturi, while endorsing the government-sponsored bill, said it will provide the legal framework to implement the housing project as demanded by the High Court.
By proposing to enact the bill, therefore, government is responding to the ruling of the court by establishing a legal framework for affordable housing and management of the funds to be collected under the proposed law. The bill further addresses the sovereignty of the law in terms of good governance, transparency and accountability as enshrined in Article 10.
MPs raised concerns over how Kenyans in the informal sector will be captured in the housing levy and why the houses cannot be rented out. The former House Speaker advised the members to ensure the bill is forwarded to the Senate since it involved counties.
I'm a Mamboga, about a border rider. How do you determine his gross income? Because this is a person that collects money, 20 bob, 200 shillings. Who is the employer that you will deduct 1.5? What is contentious now is paragraph 8 of that Schedule 4. So how will we take into consideration this function to the county government? What is your proposal?
I did note that in just after the memorandum of objects and reasons, the Leader of Majority, who is the sponsor of the bill, has indicated that this bill does not concern counties. I think we'll be cheating ourselves to say that the bill does not concern counties.
Over now to business news, where inflows from the World Bank, IMF, and multilateral partners are expected to anchor the stabilization of the shilling that has been under pressure in recent months. Central Bank Governor Dr. Kamal Thuge says the regulator will utilize tools at its disposal to protect the shilling if there is excessive volatility.
Speaking at a post-monetary policy committee briefing, Central Bank Governor Kamau Thuge said the exchange rate has overshot the equilibrium value and the central bank might intervene if there is excessive volatility.
Could be scope for central bank to support the exchange rate going forward.
He says additional dollar inflows from multilateral lenders and development partners are likely to support the shilling.
The Trade Development Bank also has made some disbursements, almost 400 million within the last 2 months. We're also expecting disbursements from the World Bank around March, April of almost, according to the Treasury, of about $1.5 billion. In addition to all that, of course, we have seen some interest by foreign investors in government securities. We are in the process of issuing the infrastructure bond, and we have seen significant foreign interest.
He says Kenya expects to access the international capital market, noting that the official forex reserve might be tapped if need be to pay off the $2 billion Eurobond, which matures this June.
We have engaged our lead managers, and we expect our lead managers to tell us when it's appropriate, when the market is appropriate for us to be able to access capital markets, to be able now to deal with the Eurobond that will be falling due in June of 2024.
Dr. Thuge projects a rise on non-performing loans following the increase of base lending rate from 12.5% to 13%, which has pushed up the cost of credit.
Yes, indeed. Of course, we are concerned about the non-performing loans and what impact the rising interest rates would have on them.
I look at sports now, where with the anticipation mounting for the WRC Safari Rally 2024, rally driver Issa Amwari remains focused on securing Dennis Mwenda as his navigator for the second consecutive year. Amwari's first test will be the Kenya National Rally Championship opener, the Eldoret Rally, on the 17th to the 18th of this month. Amwari underscores Mwenda's expertise and expresses his desire to continue the successful partnership. Now, despite finishing fourth last year in his category due to a puncture in the Sleeping Warrior stage, Amwari remains optimistic about his chances this year. This year's edition of the Safari Rally will be held from the 28th of March to the 31st of March in Naivasha.
Petitions are always high. We want to finish first because we don't win without finishing. We want to finish and finish well and finish in a good position. Last year we came fourth. This time we want a podium 1, 2, 3, or mostly 1. I actually want 1. And we know we are capable, we have the skills, we have a car to drive that. And that is our aim this year.
Well, that's where we bring the news to an end. But before that, I just want to bring you up to speed with what happened last night. Definitely, it was, Nigeria taking the day, 4-2 in penalties. That was the Nigeria versus South Africa match that was at 8 p.m. And of course, Ivory Coast versus the DRC. Ivory Coast did take the day, beating the DRC 1-0, and so we know now that Nigeria and Ivory Coast will be in the finals on Sunday, while the DRC will take on South Africa, the Bafanas. So that's all we have for you this morning. Thank you so much for your time. We hope to see you again next week, but remember, Sunday is the D-Day, so you want to stay tuned. I'm Marie Yambo. See you again.
Yes, and we are back. And joining me in studio is one Beth Muya. Beth Muya is the artist who has sung the song that you are just from watching. Beth,
yes.
Welcome to Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you so much.
How are you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling good. Thank you for the Good Morning entertainment show. I'm humbled to be in this station.
We are glad to have you. If I may just give you the opportunity to introduce yourself to the people who have never gotten to hear about you.
Yes. I'm Beth Muya. Beth Muya is a gospel minister, is a mother, and is also an entrepreneur. I'm a chef by profession. I run a cafe. So when we are from the studio, we are going and take heavy lunch or heavy breakfast.
We'll go have lunch after this.
Yes, I run a cafe in Umoja too. I also do outside catering. So Beth is also, I do a lot. So I'm humbled to be in this place. And also I worship in Umoja 2 Redeemed Gospel Church under Reverend Joshua Katua and Pastor Pauline.
Okay. All right. So when did the ministering begin for you? When did you start singing? And how did you receive that? Yeah.
I started singing while I was a very young kid, but I ventured in the limelight, I think 2020. But my first song I sung around, I think I produced, I went to the studio in 2007, but I couldn't have the video on my side because of maybe challenges of financial constraints. But during 2007, there's a song I released. It's a money song during the post-election violence. There is when now I went to the studio, but I didn't do the video. The video, I did it in 2020. So that's my journey, but I have been singing in churches, in Mwatati Pentecostal Church.
Mwatati?
Yes.
That's in Taita?
No, in Tala, Machakos County.
There's a Mwatati in Tala? Okay.
Yes. So I started singing there, and the late Bishop Ruben Munguti. So I've been singing all through my journey since I was a kid. It's a talent I've been having since I was around 5 years.
Okay.
Yes.
So you said that professionally, you getting into it now fully was in 2020.
Yes.
What made you now decide, okay, now I want to get into this?
I think it's a push. You know, there is that zeal in you. And also, sometimes you want to reach many people. And then is when I had the capacity to venture in by around 2020.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. The song that we just watched as we were getting to introduce you, can you tell me a bit about that song? What it was, what inspired it rather?
Sure.
And I've seen like a small girl who's really dancing. You know.
Yes.
Is that your daughter?
Yes, that's my firstborn daughter. She's also a singer. She's also a gospel minister. We minister together in Redeemed Gospel Church Umoja.
Okay.
And she's in choir. And also she has done a song, although it's not now on YouTube, advising children to obey their parents and parents not to wasiwachokoze watoto wao. So yeah, we will be coming one of these fine days.
You decided to start her off early.
Yes.
Is it that you really want her to get into singing, ama you realize that she loves singing, she has a talent for it, ama it's you who's just pushing it?
No, I think it's natural in her. I remember when she was in my womb, I used to listen to gospel music all through. Even through the night, the radio used to, and the TV used to play, and I used to love music. So when she was 2, I think from birth, after she started now knowing herself, from 2, she was holding a mic and singing, even in church. So it's a talent to nature, and I love her. She is more than Beth now. Abigail Mwende, she's in Rockfields, and I thank God even for the school. They are nurturing her. She's in drama, music.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of the teachers, their teacher Matrin and the class teacher. I see them nurture her, even the whole entire school.
Yeah, it's really good to nurture them, you know,
Wow.
early.
Yes.
And I think we'll take a break right now, and then when we come back, you'll tell me about that song, because we've really not talked about the song. We'll talk about it after the break. Let's take a break.
Thank you.
And we are back. Thank you for staying with us. Now, before we went for that break, Beth was just telling me about the song Yesu ni Mwema. What was the inspiration behind it?
Yesu ni mwema. Let me speak in Swahili,
Go
because it's in
ahead.
Swahili. Yesu ni mwema ni ushuhuda wangu. Na nashukuru Mungu kwa mahali nimefika, kwa kuwa si kwa nguvu zangu, ni kwa nguvu za Mungu. Yesu ni mwema ni testimony yangu. I remember wakati nilizaliwa, we are 4, 2 brothers and 2 sisters. I'm the last born. So wakati nilizaliwa, immediately my dad used to work with the Kenya Airways. So akagonjeka. So my mom was the breadwinner, na also nursing my father. I'm staying with them as we talk. Now they are doing very well. My father is now healed, but aligonjeka immediately nilizaliwa. It was tough. Ushaona mpaka maskini anakuita maskini. Yani I've been brought from mavumbini, yani from down, Mungu akinipandisha. It's a testimony ya kuonyesha unaweza yote, hata ukilelewa kwa shida ama upitie magumu gani. Yesu ni muweza. Amelaaniwa yule hutegemea binadamu. So that one, and also kumtumikia Mungu ili nibeba mpaka wakati ninaona Mungu anaendelea kunikuza nifikie wengi na nikuwe ushuhuda pia kwa wengi. So the song explains more about me now and where I am, na ninajua Mungu atanipeleka mbali kufikia kila mmoja hapate kujua kuwa kuna Mungu. Hata ukilelewa kwenye shida ama upitie magumu, nimepitia mengi. Amenisiaga mpaka niko mahali niko. So I thank God. That's a testimony. Na mama alitulea sana akiuguza baba yangu, na tukilima vibarua, unaenda kuchuna kahawa, unaenda kulimia watu wengine, unaekewa mahindi. So ndio chakula, hakuna maharagwe. Kama ni kulala njaa, nimelala. So ni mambo mengi nimepitia, lakini Mungu kwa yote amekuwa mwaminifu. So that song came to me. Saa ingine inanikujia kwa dream, nachukua kalamu na naandika. I started writing songs since I was a very small kid in Matungulu AIC primary. I started writing in primary. Ni vile hakukuwa na simu. Saa ingine unaandika ukisahau na cartoon, lakini at least you have the writing, the words of the song. So nimetoka mbali. Hiyo ni ushuhuda. Yote ukisikiza utaona ni ushuhuda ambao Mungu amenitoa mbali na ameniwezesha kufika mahali niko.
So most of your songs, are they personal testimonies?
Most of them are not. Sometimes I can be inspired to write about a certain, like, I think 2 are personal, like Hakuna Jaribu. There's a song, maybe the DJ will, Hakuna Jaribu kubwa, yote unayoyapitia ni ya muda tu. So it's
almost the same.
Almost the same. Like last year, but one, I underwent a very tough time I lost a baby, and it
sorry
was
about
not tough. It was so tough on me because when you expect a kid, as a mother, you expect to kunyonyesha. So at 8 months, almost 2 weeks to being due, the kid akakufia kwa tumbo. The worst thing was the process. But the Lord alikuwa ananiongelesha, but cheer up. At least ananirifaa kwa hiyo. So I sang it, sikujua kama itanifanyikia, but encouraging people. So it's almost the same as that song, but the rest I have sung about amani, it's about peace. Hiyo nayo niliitoa wakati wa post-election violence. It really hit me. I was staying in Huruma. Na imagine ukivuka maiti. Ukikimbia, I experienced that. So it became amani ipitayo fahamu za binadamu. Paka nikaombea inji, nikaombea Rais Uhuru Kenyatta. So it's a song yenye ilikuwa inaongea juu ya ku-encourage watu. Amani na kuombea inji yetu ipate amani. Nikaambia Mungu atupe ulinzi, upendo kwa kuwa taifa makabila zilikuwa zinainukiana. So it came on that time.
And that was actually, I think, your first song, the first song that you produced.
Yes.
Okay.
That was my first song.
Now let's talk about your newest release. Ile ambayo imekuleta hapa leo. Tell me about that song.
Hakuna Jaribu. It's an encouraging song.
Oh yes, it's Hakuna Jaribu, the one that you,
Yes, Hakuna Jaribu is an encouraging song to encourage people. Najua watu wanasema economy, wanasema maybe ni mtukufu raisi. Lakini ni sisi tulimchagua na ni muhimu sana kumuombea na kuombea our leaders in the right way na with the fear of the Lord. Because the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. When we fear the Lord, najua mambo yote, hata wisdom itaongezeka dhidi ya kudeal na watu na inchi na tuna complain sana. Tuache kucomplain sana. To focus on praying even for the leaders, for them to lead us in a godly manner na hata in God's will. So tulichagua. Usianze kusema mimi sikuchagua hii, but let's lead with examples and the word of God. Hiyo inaleta amani, hata ushirikiano na inji ugrow. Kwa kuwa mahali kuna umoja, kuna baraka. Tuache kucomplain, tushikilie kila mmoja, we edify one another with love, si matusi, na tuende mbele.
Now, maybe I've met a lot of gospel artists.
Yes.
Wanasema like churches, they don't support their own ministers of the artists who are gospel.
Yes.
What is your take on that?
I thank God. It's true, there are some ministers, they cannot, it's platform. Other people don't give gospel artists platforms at maybe kufika hapa. I didn't know any one of you. Yani it's by the grace of God, na hiyo inamata sana kukuza mtumishi wa Mungu katika uimbaji. But I thank God in my church. I think I've ministered, and also saa ingine unatumwa kwingine, Beth, enda ukaminister mahali fulani. So I think I've not experienced that at the moment, but I thank God for my pastor. Na najua it is a challenge. Na challenge moja kwa waimbaji ni vile hawana covering. Na if you don't have a cover, unajua itakuwa ngumu sana kusema usapotiwi. Kuna wengine hawana kanisa. I encourage all gospel ministers to attach themselves in a cover yenye at least hata ukikosea unaweza chapwa uambiwe hapana, umepoteza njia, rudi kwenye njia. Wengine hawana, ni freelance. So that's the problem I think with the gospel ministers. We should style up. I being one of them, but I thank God I'm undercover. Saa ingine ninaweza enda hivi usikie mchungaji ananiambia Beth yako kaje unapitia. Big up to my pastor Bishop Katoa. So I think most of them lack cover. Na ndio maana unasikia wana complain hawasapotiwi, hawatumwi mahali. Check any gospel minister with a cover. Anakuanga na ile waiting in Kikamba, yani akona style yake ya uongozi na hata uimbaji. So I think that's the problem.
Okay.
So when you have a cover, you're
sorted.
All good.
All right. Now, there's a song you've done with Boni Moitege.
Yes.
The video is not yet out, but you can just tell me about the song and why don't we have a video for that song?
The video is coming. Big up to my mentor. He's a very humble man I respect so much. So hata kukubali kufanya, it was not a big deal.
Yeah. So where did you meet him? How did you? Is it that you used to know him?
No. I happened to Boni Moitege happened to be akifika tu Nairobi. I'm the driver who anampeleka kwa crusade. We have ministered a lot in Babadogo stage crusade na Kayole in big crusades. We have been ministering together. Na akifika huwa anasema Beth and Abigail, you're my driver. In fact, hata akipewa hata invitiwa na apewe limousine. Ama nini. Anasema I want to go with Beth. So big up ukiwa Tanzania, najua unanisikiliza. Baba na kuheshimu sana. So thank you for the offer. Akifika, I'm always the driver ya Boni Moitege. We have ministered hata na Muhangila, na Sifaeli, Anastasia in Mukabwa in Mombasa, na Rachel Malete. I've ministered with several people. So nashukuru Mungu kwa hicho kibali. Ni kibali amenipa. We have ministered even in Redeemed Gospel Church Umoja together with Boni. So ni kibali ambacho Mungu amenipa tu akifika hakosi kunipigia. Tutumike pamoja.
All right. Now I want you to look into your camera and tell people where they can find you and where they can find your songs as well.
My songs are on YouTube. Zote niko saa ingine TikTok, niko Instagram, niko ingine ni gani, all handles za social media niko hapo. Na naomba msubscribe, mulike, mshare, mtiktok. That's how unakuza mtumishi wa Mungu. Na kudownload song haisaidii muimbaji ukidownload. When you play it, inamsaidia sana. Then you share it for people and subscribe. I think I am all in all social media platforms in the media.
All right.
Yes.
Unique, which song are we finishing with?
I think the latest one, Hakuna Jaribu.
Hakuna Jaribu.
All right. Thank you so much for coming to Good Morning Kenya. Yes. Unataka kusalimia watu?
Yes, kuna watu wananisikiza.
Wasalimie, sitaki vita.
Wameniambia usitoke hapa.
Wasalimie.
So, thank you so much, Redeemed Gospel Church, Umoja tu, my pastors, members, Grace Morara, Faith, na my staff who are working at Bib's Cave, Agnes, Mogaka, Faith, my mom and dad, I know wanasikiza sana, my nieces, kina Roda, Gracie, na Beth, Mungu awabariki sana. So, and several other people who are watching, my uncle, my sister, Mbula, they are watching wakiwa nyumbani, Ukambani Matungulu, na Matungulu yote najua mumepigiwa simu msichana wenu anaingia kwenye studio. Mungu awabariki sana na munisupport kwa maombi zaidi na hata kwa kusubscribe na kushare nyimbo na kunialika niwahudumie. Nyinyi ni watu ambao tumekuwa nanyi. Mungu awabariki sana na awaneemeshe.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right, and we are back. Thank you for staying with us. In studio right now is Young Dave. Young Dave is a singer and songwriter as well as a performer right here in the 254. Young Dave, karibu GMK.
Thank you, thank you.
Uko fiti?
Niko fiti kabisa.
Yeah. Sasa mziki yako tunaiclassify wapi?
Mziki yangu tunaweza classify gengeton. Bado nafanya true hizo bongo, afropop, singer, rap singer, rapper, yeah. So I can sing any kind of music, gengeton, bongo, yeah.
Yeah. Kwa nini umeamua unafanya like everything? Like unafanya gengeton, umesema bado unafanya bongo, unafanya afropop.
Mujua muziki pia inaenda na wave ya muziki na generation, na pia muziki na change. Mujua music is business. So you must unafanya muziki according na vile hiyo kitu yenye muziki ni kama kitu yenye yani iko kwa market na uzwa. So kama ni bongo ndio watu wanaimba, hiyo ndio unafanya. As long as unaweza fanya kitu yenye pia inaweza affect wazee in a positive way, kitu yenye watu wanapenda. As for now, yeah. Yeah.
And how long have you been in the industry?
Since 2014, immediately after high school. Nimefanya muziki 2014, then after 2014 hapo pia kulikuwa na issues kidogo, tukachukua break, tena tukarudi, tena tukachukua break. So ndio sasa tumerudi sasa. Sasa tufanye tu mambo.
Yeah, ukisema tukachukua break.
Yeah.
Ni wewe na kina nani? Were you in a group?
Yeah, actually I was in a group. Tulikuwa na cousin yangu na beshte yangu, tulikuwa watatu. Huyo cousin yangu alikuwa anaitwa Pisam, mwingine alikuwa anaitwa Cleo. So tulikuwa tunaimba pamoja I think 2015. But kuna vile kulienda tu, wengine waliamua kwenda chuo, wengine pia waliamua kutravel nje. So mimi ndo nikabaki. So ndo nikasema sawa, wacha nisikume gurudumu sasa. Yeah.
Yeah. Being that umefanya kazi kwenye group na umefanya sasa right now you're doing it as a solo artist.
Yeah.
Kuna tofauti gani ya kuwork in a group na kuwork solo? Is it easier working in a group or is it much more challenging, working in a group than working solo?
Tofauti yenye iko, mimi naweza sema tofauti ni you spend a lot of money. Yeah, you find it very difficult on your side when it's come to marketing. Unajipush, so the problem inakuwa ni pesa juu hiyo pia market ni kidogo, na pia kukaa chini pia kuandika ngoma pia unaona just you feel like unaandika the whole song unaona. So lakini ukizoea pia unaona tu unazoea, lakini problem ni mambo na pesa na kukaa uweka hiyo idea unataka kukama up na nini. I think ni hiyo tu. Yeah.
Gengeton saizi it has morphed. Kumekuwa sasa na nini nyingine ambayo inaitwa urban tone. Have you done any urban tone song?
Yeah, urban tone. Even right now I have a song. I will release it next week. So I think between urban tone na gengeton nothing, yani hakuna kitu tofauti hapo. Ni jina tu imechangiwa, lakini ni type tu moja, ni style tu ya Kenya, ni type tu ya Kenya music.
Yeah, and then I feel urban tone, tofauti ya urban tone na gengeton unique, I think ni the fact that urban tone inachukua ina sample beats ya ngoma ambayo already it has been there, inajulikana. That's the difference between urban tone and gengeton.
Yeah.
I'm not the expert here, do not quote me. That's just from how I've listened to them. I feel like the only difference is that urban tone imechukua some song, some beats that is imesample a beat from song ya so wewe sasa umesample ngoma gani kwa hii urban tone ambayo unatoa next week?
Ngoma nimefanya pia nimesample tu hiyo beat tu ya kawaida, but ni mix tu. But ni style nyingine unique pia. Umejua mimi kama Young Dave nataka niimbe kama mimi. Sitaki niambiwe nimeimba kama fulani, nimeimba kama fulani. Pia nataka ni come up with my own style yenye pia one day nimejua siku moja tukiretire tutasema Young Dave amewacha legacy fulani, kitu fulani, unaona. yeah, unakuja ni style ingine unique but ni urban tone too. Yeah.
What would you say makes you stand out from everyone else? Mbona mtu atake kusikiza Young Dave? Juice bro.
Yeah. Okay, Young Dave anajipush, msanii anajipush sahi. Sijasikiza sahi ndio tunaingia kwa music industry. Of course tumejua God willing itakuwa poa. So sahi tunajiuza na tunajipush na tunataka tukuje na vitu noma pia. As long as tukuje na ngoma kali pia ngoma iko na positive message. Yeah, because music is business. Umejua pia unaangalia pia ground. Lazima uangalie ground useme yenyewe ground inataka hii. So I think Kenya pia tunafanya poa, tuko na style yetu. Na kwa hiyo style yetu tunaweza invest musically kwa hiyo style yetu. So right now tunakuja na vitu mingi. Na I think itakuwa poa. Yeah.
Industry ya Kenya saizi ukiulizwa kama Young Dave, unaweza sema iko wapi? Like industry ya muziki ya Kenya.
Yeah, music industry ya Kenya sahi iko na changamoto tu kiasi cause umejua siku baya, but umejua sahi mambo ni mingi. Mambo ni mingi. Umejua watu wasanii wamekuja ku differentiate huyu ni artist, huyu si artist ni ngumu kwa unaona watu wamekuja na makikis mingi, ma cloud chasing, ma content unaona. So ujui huyu ni msanii genuine artist ama huyu si genuine artist. Hiyo ndio I think inapatia usanii music industry ya Kenya challenge kidogo, but as long as kama sahi music inaweza rudi kama kitambo, watu wanachukua music serious, unajua huyu ni artist uko talented, like mi kama Young Dave, mi niko talented, sahi nafanya ngoma na siko under management, sina promoter. Of course najua nikipata manager ama somebody in the name of promoter, I think naweza fanya bora zaidi. Na music ya Kenya sahi tunataka ikuwe kama before, yani watu pia wapatie wasanii wa Kenya pia ma airplay, wasikize ngoma za nje sana. Hiyo ndio inafanya ina weekend music ya Kenya sahi. But even apart from that, kama kitu inaweza kuwa poa, wasanii wako serious na watu waamue kusupportiana, I think itaweza kuwa poa sana cause hiyo support ndio inafanya ina weekend music ya Kenya. Yeah, kama Tanzania, Nigeria imetake over. So kitu kama hiyo ndio inatupatia challenge, but I think kama tunaweza sikizwa vizuri na sisi kama msanii kama Young Dave, msanii ambaye pia ni new artist ambaye pia ameingia kwa music industry, I think kile kitu itakuwa tu sawa. Because hiyo ndio system. Yeah.
We'll take a break and then tutarudi tuongelelea hapo. Unique anakaa kuna kitu ya kusema, so we'll come back and hear from you, Unique. Let's take a short break. Back. Before we took that break, Unique, you seemed to be having something to say, and the conversation we were having was actually around the fact that according to him, he feels like we are not playing Kenyan music as we used to back then. What's your thoughts, Unique? Unafeel kama siku hizi tuna play KE more than kitambo ama ni ukweli hatu play KE?
Siku hizi tunacheza.
Yeah.
Hata kitambo tuko tunacheza, lakini these days we do support our own, unaona. Because saizi content inatolewa saizi za like purely Kenyan. Tunaona like we need to support our own, unaona. So wasisema tucheze, si ucheza.
Muziki inachezwa ya Kenya siku hizi.
Yeah, muziki inachezwa. Muziki inachezwa, nasema okay, nilikuwa namaanisha kwa ground fans, unajua wanapenda kusikiza foreign music than local music. So hiyo ndio kitu nilikuwa namaanisha, but ma DJs wanacheza, watu wanacheza, lakini kwa ground unajua ground ndio naona kama imechange kidogo.
Unafeel ukienda kwa ground watu wasikizi ngoma za Kenya sana, wanasikiza more of what is coming from outside, the Nigerians, the South Africans, the Tanzanians.
I think ukienda mashinani, mashinani watu wanasikiza Kenyan music but umejua shida ya Nairobi, kila mtu ni msanii, hata mwenye si msanii, even fan wa kawaida anajua kushinda msanii. Yeah, umerelease ngoma, anafikiria ngoma ya Chris Brown alirelease ngoma na sijui Davido nini, vitu kama hizo. So hizo ndio challenges I think yenye pia na weekend inafanya music ya Kenya haisikizi vile inafaa yani.
Yeah. But I tend to think that with the rise of gengetone, urban tone, imefanya watu wanasikiza Kenyan music sana. Hata ukiangalia when you go into TikTok, most of the challenges zinafanywa na Wakenya, utapata wanafanya na ngoma za Kenya. Ukiangalia challenges zenye zinafanywa TikTok, the dance music challenges, nyingi wanafanya za Kenya. So kidogo sitakubaliana na wewe sana. Though okay, we need more people to support Kenyan music, but as it is right now, I feel like Kenyans are really catching up with supporting the people. We are really trying.
By the way, gengetone ilifufua ngoma ya Kenya
industry,
by the way. By the way.
Okay, you've done any collaborations as we finish?
Not yet, bado sina collabo, but collab I think itakam. But as for now bado na concentrate kwangu kidogo. Kuna ngoma ingine inakuja, hiyo ngoma sitaisema sahi, but I think mtaisikiza tu. DJ ataicheza, is a club banger, is a good song, it contain a positive message. But nile ngoma ina appreciate pia urembo tu ya madem.
Ngoma zako zote zina appreciate warembo. Hao ndio target audience.
No.
Hao ndio target audience. Anyway, wale ambao they are meeting you and getting to know you for the first time and they would love to keep up with you, wajue wakati una release that new song, where do they find you on social media? Where do they find your music?
Thank you. So social media, kwa Facebook ni pate hapo kama Young Dave Classic. IG unaweza nipata kama Young Dave KE, Young Dave Kenya. TikTok Young Dave 254. YouTube Young Dave. So unaweza sema huu ni msanii Young Dave, pia na need support wenu. Nyinyi mafans, nyinyi watu mnaniangalia, nyinyi ndio deep street ya msanii. So unaweza enda hapo kwa YouTube, unaweza subscribe on my YouTube channel, unaweza sikiza ngoma hapo Young Dave umejibeba, kuna ngoma na release next week. But as for now, hiyo umejibeba, unaweza subscribe, unaweza fanya kila kitu, any platform unipate hapo Young Dave.
All right, Young Dave, thank you for coming.
And pia kuna kitu nimesahau kidogo.
Okay.
Mi bado sina management. Na if you think when invest unataka kuinvest kwa msanii, unaweza chukua namba yangu. Kama we ni promoter ama we ni manager, unafeel unaweza manage. So hii ndio namba yangu. 0706101790. 0706101790. I love you all.
All right. Okay, right now we take a short musical break. Don't you go too far. We'll be back with more right here on Good Morning Kenya. You're really good at what you do, by the way. We have a young boss right here in studio with us. He is a young boss.
Yeah.
Tell me about that name kwanza. Uliamuaje kujiita young boss?
Yeah, so actually the name has a crazy story behind it. So the word young is from a Chinese philosophy where they believe that the name young is one of the two opposing principles that influence everything in the universe. So the young is the positive, it represents positive, bright and masculine. So that's why I went for the name. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So I decided to add boss to go with young because it stands for what my music.
I love that. I just thought young boss meaning, a young guy who's a boss.
People think it stands for young, just.
Kumbe iko na deeper meaning.
That's why I spell it Y-A-N-G.
Yeah. I love that. And welcome to the show. You are a hip-hop artist, you're a rapper. So when did you first interact with music, and maybe who would you say you used to listen to back then that prompted you to get into the rapping scene?
Yeah, I've been a lover of music ever since I was young. So the person who influenced me to get into music was Camp Mula. I used to listen to Camp Mula back in the day, and I was like, yo, I wanna be like these people. So since then I started, making my own music, and after completing high school, that's when I decided to take music seriously. started going to the studio and just started learning and, getting to know more about the music industry. Yeah.
If your inspiration comes from Camp Mula, there's no way unaangusha. You know, Camp Mula were really the it.
Hey, Camp Mula.
Camp Mula were, by the way, mpaka leo nakuanga na beef because mbona waachane? You know, like why did they decide to just stop doing? Okay, they had to get into different things and they were very young at that time, but Camp Mula,
yeah.
You know, they were the first people who went for BET and like they got such recognition. Yani hao ndo wangetuomosha in the Kenyan industry. I know, and then they just decided, you know what, we're not doing this anymore, we're going to go solo anyway.
Yeah.
I love that Camp Mula are the people who inspire you. Yeah. So since you got into the scene, how would you say that journey has been for you?
The journey, it has been difficult because as you can see, we are still struggling, because I'm an independent artist. So, everything, studio time, videos, you have to get into your pocket in order to, but we are still going. Yeah, I believe that we are going to get somewhere. So it's been 4 years.
Yeah, it's challenging to work as a solo artist in that you don't have a team that is managing you. Yeah. Is it that we don't have enough talent do I call it talent managing? What? I don't know how to call it. But is it that we don't have enough managers? Let me just say that. Is it that we don't have enough managers to manage talent in Kenya? Ama mbona wasanii wengi, they're just solo artists. They don't have any backing team behind them.
For me, I think, personally, in order to be signed, they need to see you're putting in the work. So probably I think you have to push yourself a little so that they can see the work you're putting in, and then they'll decide maybe to sign you, because at the end of the day, they're investing in you. So they need to see that their money will not go in the drain. So you need to push yourself until you get someone, you get a great deal. Yeah.
So we have talent managers in the country, it's just that they need to really, Actually, we have a conversation on that today. I think after your interview, and at around 9, I'll be having 2 talent managers in studio today, and we'll be talking about the role of talent managers. Na maybe watatuambia ni nini wanaangaliaga kwa wasanii for them to decide I'm going to manage this particular artist. Now, there was a time back, not too long ago, I think last year, there was a conversation on Kenyans don't really listen to rap music as much. They prefer waimbi. You know, they prefer the singers, wale ambao wanaimba like romantic songs and so on. What's your take on that?
I feel, ladies are the ones who listen to, they're the ones who say that, rap is not their thing much. But my homies and, niggas, my people, boys just, love hip-hop, they love rap, because most people, they don't understand, the concept of hip-hop music, the concept of rap. Most people think it's just loud music, but there is something to hip-hop which they need to get into.
Yeah, now that you've said that, just how much work goes into perfecting your skill of rapping? Because rapping, it's not just someone speaking like ati nikuje hapa hivi nianze kuongea ati niseme mimi ni rapper. It's a skill that one needs to perfect. So just how difficult is it to perfect it, or how easy is it, or did it come for you?
Yeah, first of all, people say that you need to have talent. Personally, I believe talent actually doesn't come, because it's more of putting in the work, practice and consistency. Just if you feel like this is what you want to pursue, you need to stay consistent. Write music, make music. Even when you're feeling like you're not in the mood of making music, just stay consistent. At the end of the day, you'll find yourself making great music, because nobody starts writing bangers. No, you start rhyming and making things that are not making sense. Till one day now you start now perfecting it, and making great music that people will now start to listen to. Yeah.
What's the title of the song that you came in with?
It's called Overnight.
Overnight.
Yeah.
Tell me about Overnight.
Yeah, Overnight is a song that I wrote back in 2020. Yeah, and that song, it's more of just me, expressing myself, because it was in the first Actually, it's my first video. That's my first song to do. And I was still discovering myself back then. Yeah.
Right. Do you feel Kenyans are listening to more Kenyan music now? Because the previous artist we had alikuwa na feel ni kama Wakenya bado hatu support really our music, you know, we are still going for bongo music more or ngoma za Nigeria. Your take on that, do you feel like Kenyans are now supporting more of Kenyan music?
I'd say that right now we're in a better place. You know, people are starting to appreciate Kenyan music and supporting our local talents, which is amazing. But not many people are listening, but you know, it's a great improvement.
It's getting somewhere.
It's getting somewhere. Yes.
Unique.
Yeah, maybe I can add on that. For now, unajua before uanze ukikuwa we ni upcoming, kusikizi utakuwa ngumu. Hiyo unakuwa umepatiwa like time, like kuna ile grace period unapatiwanga we mwenyewe pia ujitume kwanza ndo sio kuanza kusikia, lakini the moment don't expect uanze kusikiza ngoma zako kama unaanza.
Unafaa uji
humble na ujitume mo kabisa. So that's the usiku unachukulia sasa juu ndo unaanza usikie, ndo unajua most of the people wenye ni artist wenye bado wanaanza na wanasema wasikizwi. Unaona, but na wajitumi. Unaona, so the more unajituma utakusikiza.
That's true, kwa sababu watu ukisikiza stories za wasanii kama kina Otile, the Calligraph Jones, akina Okto, it took time for them to be where they are. Si ati waliandika tu ngoma ya kwanza wakaingia studio andika hit. No. Some of them hata ni ngoma ya like ya 10 ndo ilianza kusikizwa, ingine sijui ni ngapi ndo ilianza kusikizwa. So it's a journey and it's a process, and you need to go with a journey. Just be patient with that journey of yours. Ukijiaminia pia ukijua mimi ni young boss, lazima itajipa.
Ni hivyo tu.
All right, so there's always been a debate on who's king. You know, who's king? Who's the king of rap in the 254? Your take as someone who's in hip hop.
As for me, I feel like, you know, the king, you know, it depends on what aspect. Maybe the impact, you know, what the artist has done. But for me, I feel like the goat, you know, we say the goat.
The goat ni
Nyashinski,
wachaleni na the goat.
The goat. Nyashinski ako ligi yake pale.
Hapo hivyo liko bias.
But when it comes now to rap, and you know, you gotta respect the OGs, man. Hey.
It's Calligraph Jones.
Yeah, hey, OG is OG, man.
What makes you say Calligraph is actually the king of rap?
OG is a beast. OG has always been a great rapper, and he's someone actually whom I look up to, because back in high school when I was still learning, you know, to craft, I would also take some writing techniques from him. So that's why I prefer him as the GOAT. Because I feel like he's impacted so many people, so many young rappers in the Kenyan scene.
What would you say makes a good rapper? Ni haraka yenye una spit nayo, ni rhyming, like what makes a good rapper?
I feel like it's the creativity you put into your craft. You know, the lyrics, you know, the hidden meanings, you know, that's what makes hip hop people. You know, the double entendres, you know, the lyrics and rhyming, you know, I feel like, that's all that makes a great rapper.
All right, let's talk about your newest release. What is it all about? Where did the inspiration come from?
So my newest release is called Chase My Dreams. It's a song from my recent EP titled Ambitious. And the song is just about me talking about the struggles I go through as an artist. In the music industry, in order to get to where I am as a rapper. So it's all about just, you know, chasing your dreams, pursuing your goals, and not giving up no matter what people tell you, you know, because there are going to be people who do not believe in you, people who see as if you're wasting your time. But you gotta stay consistent, you gotta focus on the goal. And that's what the song is about. It's just pure motivation.
It's pure motivation.
Motivation.
Yeah. And the EP, I want you to incite people
Yeah.
to go listen to your EP. So what varieties do you have in the EP?
I have now these trap songs.
Yeah.
I have a drill song called Success, and there's a song I've done, you know, for the ladies called By Your Side. I've done it with a girl called Pisces Daisy, Daisy Pisces, and my friend Nasir. Yeah, we've done a great song. You guys need to go to listen to it. Go get the EP. It's available on all streaming platforms. Young Boss Official. Go get the EP titled Ambitious. Yes.
Okay, so they find you on social media as Young Boss?
Yeah, it's Young Boss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unique, unatufungia hii chapter.
Atatufungia
na ngoma
na
gani yake?
Chase My Dreams.
All right, Chase My Dreams it is. Thank you so much for coming to the show.
Welcome.
Other artist right here in studio, and I will allow him to introduce himself.
Praise God, I'm Glory Martin, an upcoming Kenyan gospel artist, and I thank God for this far.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, there's the song that we are just from watching. By the way, it's a good song. It's
Thank
a
you.
very beautiful song. I want you to tell me more about that song and the person you have worked with on that song. He was supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Sijui amekwama wapi? Ako kwa jama na kam?
Nafikiri kwa jama na kam.
All right, tell me about the song and how you got to meet up with the other guy for the song.
Okay, this is my first song. Inaitwa Nataka Nikujue. Nimefanya na Katoi COG. The song, by the way, iko na historia refu kidogo, but
Tupatie ifupishe alafu tueleze.
okay, hii song tuliamua tutaifanya 2021. Ndio nilikutana na Katoi COG 2021 January. Tukaplan about ngoma na tukasema tutaifanya, but by God's grace tumekuja kufanya 2023 last year na tukai-release deck na ninashukuru Mungu kwa hiyo. So Katoi tulipatana naye via kumuona kwa mtandao, nikamtafuta, nikamcall, akani accept, nikamfikia, tukabonga na tukaplan. Mungu naye akasaidia. Ngoma Nataka Nikujue, ukisikiza vizuri inasema nataka nikujue zaidi. So hii ina nini? Tunataka kujua God zaidi. Kuna kujua mtu. Like my bro DJ Unique, namjua kwa sababu namuonanga. Wewe pia nakujua juu nakuonanga. But sikujui zaidi. Sijui kwenye unakaa, sijui venye unakaa, sijui kama umeolewa, sijui uko na watu wangapi. So but kukujua zaidi. Hiyo ndio tunaambia, kujua Mungu zaidi, you see? So kuna wase wenye wanajua God but hawamjui zaidi. Hawajui venye anaweza fanya. Hawajui anafufuanga, hawajui anaponyanga, hawajui analisha na anashibisha. So hiyo ndio tunataka tuna spread, as in kujua God zaidi.
Okay,
Yeah.
good message right there. Iko na message nzuri sana.
Thank
You've
you.
said hii ndo ngoma yako ya kwanza.
Yeah, it's my first one.
Like it's your first officially produced song.
Yep.
Oh. Okay. So ndo umeanza tu kuimba ama ulikuwa unaimba lakini you had not gone into it professionally? I want you to give me your story.
Usanii nilianza nikiwa mdogo na okay, first nilikosa support. Nilianza nikiwa pale hivyo shule primary, but venye nilienda kuintroduce hii kitu kwa my mom na my dad, wakaniambia it's not right time. So ikanibidi nimerudi kwa masomo, nikaachana na muziki. But 2019 pondo nilikutana na vijana wengine ambao walinishika mkono, wakaniintroduce kwa Chomo Talanta Kenya, wakaniintroduce kwa pia Churches Got Talent Kenya. Hapo ndipo nilianza sasa kuona kweli ninaweza nikafanya kitu, kwa sababu venye nilikuwa na compete pale ninaona niko sawa. So nikaenda hivyo nikijinua, ndivyo nikapata na my bro Katoi. Yep.
So what are you looking at? What is the future looking like for Glory Martin?
Ni ku make sure wase wameokoka, wamefuata Christ na wamempenda pia. Na wako wanabarikiwa na gospel music. Sababu wengine walisema gospel ilikufa, but wako wamesikia feeling na taste ya Glory Martin na wengine wenye wanakuja. So wangoje. Yep.
Ukiangalia industry ya gospel Kenya, una feel iko wapi, and do you feel like there is enough support in the gospel industry?
Hii inalingana na venye msee yako. Okay, kitu ya kwanza ni favor ya God. Unaweza ukaimba poa na but hauna favor. Hautasonga. but God akupatia favor, hakuna kitu yenye inaweza kuwa ngumu. Nimeona wase wanainuka ndio na ngoma moja na inagonga 1M views, so mimi najua kuna support, lakini uko na favor God.
Na kwa wasanii wenyewe una feel wasanii wanashikana vilivyo?
Sija interact nao sana, kwa hivyo siwezi nikawasemea.
You're still very new in the game.
Yeah.
Unique, uliza swali.
Karibu sana kwa game bro.
Asante.
Kuna kwanga na challenges small, but for now, is there any challenge maybe you may go through before releasing your newest song?
Yeah. Kuna wase wenye wanaonanga kama uwezi make. Kuna watu wenye, in fact, kuna ngoma nilikuwa nimefanyanga kitambo yenye niliambiwa hapa hivyo umeenda waste, umefanya ufala, but nashukuru Mungu. After that bado alirudi kaniinua. So kuna watu wanakuvunja moyo pale hivyo nje. Lakini ukiwasikiza wewe ndio utapotea. Yeah.
So hiyo imekupa like your challenge imekusaidia aje like grow like musically?
For me imenisaidia kwa sababu nimeamua kuwa sasa like don't care na care less venye wase wanasema huko hivyo nje. Then I consider more na kenye ninafanya.
Yeah. I would want us to listen to that song tena.
Yes.
And then we get back as we finish. Okay, and we are back, and as you can see, Katoi has joined us. Jami ilikuwa imekulemea, bro?
Jam kidogo, lakini imagine sijawahi kuwa late.
Leo ndo imekuwa
yani hadi najua bosi wangu mahali yako ingekuwa ni yeye. I don't know. But I'm really sorry.
It's okay.
Manze.
Bora umefika. Umefika kama tuja
maliza. Leme ni ramba.
Kimekuramba. But you're here now.
I'm here now.
All right, introduce yourself to the people.
Yo, watu wangu nguvu ni aje, this is Katoi COG na kama kawa Jesus for real. Yeah.
Glory Martin alikuwa ameshatuelezea kuhusu the song that you've done together, akatuambia it's his first song.
Yeah.
Why did you choose to work with him, being that hajawahi kurecord tena before? This was the first song.
For me, I always say, because to me, what I always do is ministry. So, divine connection. I can say, kama kuna watu wanaelewa, divine connection. Yeah.
So it was just divine connection.
Divine connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And Katoi, wewe nataka sasa utupatie story yako. Like how you got into the music scene, how you got into the ministering.
Mi nimelelewa na family musical, but ni kitu wacha tuseme walitumika kukua kama bridge for me to be in music. And imekuwa good journey because nimegrow, mi mwenye amenilea ni grandmother. Okay. So amenishow ways za church since nikiwa mtoi. So nilijipata kwa ministry.
Yeah. Mbona unajita Katoi by the way?
It is a very long story.
Shorten it and tell us.
Ukinicheki unaweza dhani nilizaliwa hivi, but I was not born like this. And I was a dancer some many years back. Tulikuwa kwa competition na tukipiga zoezi nika break backbone yangu, ika twist, ikaua nerve system yangu yote.
Yeah.
So in that process of to here now, kuna time nilikuwa hosi for good 8 months. I never even had a best. Hakuna mtu alikuwa ananivisit. Be it parent, bros, hizo.
No one knows.
No one.
Yeah.
For good 8 months. And me I thought ukiwa kwa shida ndio family inafaa kukam through, mama best close wana come through, but no one. Guess what? Nilibaki kama venye Bible inasema, a child of God. Katoi. So ni child of God tunaifanya sheng Katoi.
Oh, so that's where the name came from.
Yeah.
And Katoi, just what made you remain strong, and what made you, even after the accident that you got while you were performing, you know, while you were doing what you love, while you were dancing, bado ukaamua, okay, this has happened, but this is not where my story will end.
Yeah.
I will go on with what I love and, you know, sing.
Yeah, me, first of all, I was told by a doctor we never stand like I am. I was on a wheelchair for like some few years, I think 6 years for wheelchair.
6 years.
Niko na boste kuwa sitawahi simama, nilikuwa kwa bed rest 1 year. God akakam through, nikakuja kwa wheelchair. God akakam through on that place ya wheelchair. I was ministering to a platform, ilikuwa platform ya Pitson. Walikuwa na kesha fulani. And mimi nilifeel msee amenipull kwa wheelchair. Na kitu ilifanya nisi give up because society pale nje ukikuwa disable unakaa ni kama msee anadependia watu. Get? Kitu ya kwanza niliji-accept na nika accept venye niko kabisa fully, and then guess what? I do what I'm doing because nikisema ni beg kuna mseta ataka form yako. By the way, I've never begged for anything in my life. So nilikuwa nataka kushow society in appearance. And get upstairs niko poa in appearance, na above all niko na Jesus. Yeah.
I love that. And just how do we change that perspective? Generally, what do you feel we should do more in order to change the perspective that the society normally has when they see someone who's differently abled from them? Because it's just that you're differently abled. Wasione ni kama, okay, this one is a lesser person. They should just know this is a person like you and me.
Yeah,
ni mtu kawaida, yeah.
Siwezi laumu society pia, kwa sababu kuna wasee wameitake kama job kubeg, and that is not a good thing. You have to change your mindset. That is number one. Accept your situation. If you don't have legs, you can use your hands. If you don't have your hands, you can use your head. Get? So, as you're disabled kama mimi, ando atameki society ijue we can do anything by ourselves. Sio kila saa uko kwa street na kikombe manze. Kikombe ni ya chai, unadunayo nini uko, get? Nini ati masani manze, hizo nza kuweka food, sido. Get? So, hiyo ndo kitu naweza ambia msee wote maybe ana watch. Ina na feel hakuna job anaweza do because akona disability. I know, trust you me. Hakuna kitu anaweza do wenye wase wengi sana hawezi do.
I love that. Back to you, Glory Martin. So what is in the works? Have you, since this is your first song, kuna songs zingine ambazo ziko jikoni, umesha record, kuna songs zingine ambazo una record sasa hivi, kuna nyingine maybe unafanya na Katoi. Just tell me.
Yeah, kuna ngoma zenye bado naendelea kurecord. Na zingine bado naendelea kuandika. Yep. Katoi tunaendelea kushirikiana, hata ukiona kama yuko kwa hiyo ngoma, jua ameshiriki kwa tumeandika pamoja, ama kuna vile nimeandika akanirekebisha. Yeah.
So Katoi umemshika mkono.
Yeah.
Wewe ndo kama baba yake kwa industry.
Tusiseme baba yake, tutakuwa tunachukua place ya God ndio baba yake.
Okay.
So just a person being used by God. Yeah.
And what's the importance of that, you know, in the gospel industry, whereby you pick someone else up? You know, unajua mimi maybe nimefanya hiki tu, I'm good at it. Already it's something I do, I'm in that space, but there's this other person who's really trying to get into it, but ni ngumu kwake. What's the importance of just picking that other person up, umuingize?
For me, I will always follow the Bible. Mantle is not something that you die with. It is given. So God akikuuse, akupatie grace fulani, make sure your grace itafikia msee fulani, and that's how you grow the kingdom of God. Maybe kama angesema atadu secular. Kuna wasa secular angemwambia ni aje, ukiweka mademu wako hivi kwa video inaenda. Unaniget? But si ini kingdom ya God, so ile kitu naachia msee ni muhimu sana. That's why unasikia kuna bishop, pastor, reverend, prophet, unaniget? Akitoka naachia mantle msee mwingine. Yeah.
So for you, you're into music fully?
Fully into.
That's what you do?
I'm a fashion and designer. Nimewaka hapa.
Tunaona luku.
Ni kidogo. So nimekuwa nikifanya fashion. Actually nimewaka hapa for like 1 year. Hapa KBC na kina Son of Nation. The backyard. Mimi ndo nilikuwa navalisha Son of Nation.
Oh, you're the one who was dressing.
Yeah, Son of Nation. I'm still the one who is dressing Son of Nation on the other side.
Unique. Utaki kusaidiwa na mavazi.
Huyu jamaa huyu.
Katoi nimefanya nini?
Huyu ni mdosi wetu lakini wacha tutakutana nyuma tena.
Unique, do you have a question for our guest?
Yeah, now Beth Moya amekuwa hapa akatuambia most artists hawana covering ya spiritual covering.
Yes.
What is the importance of like having a spiritual covering?
Being under a church.
Yeah, being under a church.
Yeah.
For me, I will say, as a person who is doing ministry, you can't give what you don't have. And the spiritual fathers are ni watu muhimu sana kwa msee yote mwenye anadukaria yoyote, not even being a Christian. Maybe kama wewe, I know there is a person ulikuwa una look up to. Sindio? And huyo ni msee, I think kama una Godfather we maisha yako inaweza kuwa ngumu kiplani. So mi husema spiritual father ni muhimu sana kwa any gospel artist. Because for us we are not just singing, we are preaching. And you need people who can feed our soul. Nani get? Ndio pia sisi kenye tumeget, we speak it out through music.
Yeah. I'd love to know how your writing process looks like. From the inception, from mwanzo kabisa ukitaka kuandika nyimbo, your process, how does it look like?
Sometimes ngoma tu inakam. I don't write. I've never sijaandika ngoma kwa papers. Yo kam, muulize. Tulikuwa na session tukio studio alikuwa amerekodi vitu zingine nikamwambia hebu tutoe tufanye hii. It was like that.
All right. Okay. So for someone who would love, na feel ni kama nimepitilia tu hiyo story ya fashion designer, you know, msema ni fashion designer?
I'm a stylist.
Oh, stylist, not fashion designer. There's a difference. Fashion designer anashona, stylist anakuvisha, anakuambia anachukua hii ready made. All right. So for someone who would love for you to start dressing them, unavisha wasichana na wavulana ama wasichana peke yake ama wavulana peke yao?
Wengi.
All right, juice bro, wanakupata wapi wakitaka kuvalishwa na wewe?
Kuvalishwa ni njia tu.
Ni kuvishwa.
Kuvishwa.
Oh, ni kuvishwa ama ni kuvalishwa? Ni kuvishwa, yes.
Sawa. So utanipata kwa social media handles zote Katoi COG, pale YouTube Katoi COG Music. Ukitaka kuvalishwa Cladi na Katoi, all digital platform. Cladi na Katoi.
Cladi na Katoi. All right, what is in the works musically for you?
Musically, is a surprise since nilianza hii journey sijaido album. But I was to drop the album last year. Things happen. But my fans naona tu pale wananiuliza ni nini mbaya. Niko jikoni manze na drop album soon.
So the album is ready. It's just a matter of the dates.
Strategy kupanga. 1 2 3 but
Nianze kuipreempt ama ningoje tu? Nisianze kuuliza
unataka
maswali
aje,
kuhusu
unataka
album.
aje?
Si tujue tuna expect really from the album.
Good music kama kawaida.
Yeah.
Inspiration kama kawaida, Jesus kama kawaida.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Katoi and Glory Martin, for joining us on Entertainment Thursday. Good Morning Kenya. Your song, the song that you've done together, is a good song.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you do, Katoi. Keep doing what you do in terms of bringing other people up. You know, not just wanting to shine on your own. There's enough space for everyone, in this game. You know, imanishi ukileta mwingine ati anachukua shine yako. You know, so keep doing what you do. And all the very best. Umetuambia kwenye watu wanapata Cladi na music.
Cladi na Katoi, that is
music.
Kama unataka kuvalishwa music pale YouTube ni COG Kenya. Kwa hizo zingine ni Katoi COG_official.
Alright, Glory Martin, muziki wako wanapata wapi?
Unapata kwa Glory Martin.
Alright.
Yeah, YouTube.
Okay. Take it away, Unique. Then it's a song from way back, and it just reminded me of Amelina. You know the song inaitwa Shine? It's your time. Wakati wako. That's such a beautiful song. And I was just asking, actually, my guests in studio, where did Amelina go? Nikaambiwa alienda Majuu. Mayolo. Ali relocate. Anyway, welcome back. This is Entertainment Thursday right here on Good Morning Kenya, and we are about to have an interesting and informative conversation. Our topic of discussion today right here on Entertainment Thursday is on talent manager, and the role of talent managing, that is, and the role of talent managers in the creative economy. And to push this particular conversation are people who are actually doing that. They are talent managers and have been in the scene for long. And beginning on my very far left is the beautiful Anchi. She's always here, by the way, mara mingi. Nini ya mwanangi anakuanga ameleta watu, you know? But we are behind the scenes. We normally see the talent, but we don't see the talents managers, the ones who are behind and pushing the talents. That is Anchi. Anchi is the CEO and founder, Creative Catalyst Africa. And right next to Anchi, we have Mike Mutenyo. Mike Mutenyo is an award-winning brand manager. He is a communication strategist and also a music executive. Welcome to the show, Mike and Anchi.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we normally don't see the faces of you guys.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah. How does it feel to be now up mbele?
Zoea kuwa behind the scenes, but for me, I think it's I'm very comfortable here because I'm always here with my artists.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad.
Yeah. It's not too bad.
Just to add on what Anchi is saying, as much as we're usually behind the scenes, what the artists do when they're here, we're usually part of that package.
Yeah.
You're part
Training
of that.
them of how to speak.
Yeah.
Eye contact.
Yeah.
So when we get a chance to be here, it's like home.
Yeah, it's home. And by the way, Mike, you used to sing. Kitambo.
What?
You shocked?
I didn't know.
Kitambo.
KBC is like home.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to come here. It's just that I'm a totally different person from those days. If you were to take my pictures and ask them now, it's different. That's why most people can't connect the two. But I used to be an artist, and the passion is still there. It's just that it's in a different space.
Yeah. Okay. So you have a good ear for music.
I do.
Yeah. All right. Let's start by defining the role of a talent manager. Or first of all, just who is a talent manager?
A talent manager is somebody who aids the growth of a talent, an artist in our case, with the aim of getting them to their goals. Yeah, I think that's how I'd basically define
I've been
it.
asked to take a break, so let's take a break and then we'll come back.
So,
All right. Thank you for staying with us. We chosen us to start off your morning. This is Entertainment Thursday, and before we went for on that short break, Anchi was just explaining to us who a talent manager is. So if you can carry on, Anchi.
I was trying to remember the words I used in the past. Okay, so a talent manager is somebody who aids and guides a talent towards their goals, in whatever art they've chosen to do. So basically that's my work. Also a big role we play is, brand management and development. Just build self-esteem, just things so that when they come to the outside world, they feel, how can I say it? Supported. Yeah.
To amplify what Anchi is saying, so brand managers, what they exist to do is to be your eyes, to be your legs as an artist or a talent. Basically, when as before we went on a break, I heard you saying I was an artist. That's true, I was. And the challenge that we had at that time was we had very few people in the music business because we concentrate on the talent, the skill itself. But now, you being able to know what you should do, how many songs should I release this year? Example, when? Who should I collaborate with? When someone needs to reach out to me, how do they reach out to me? So basically, you're in charge of the business aspect of an artist. But now, when we say business, a new artist might say, my career is not making any money. So what do you mean business? Business does not mean money alone. It means even from the formative stages, which Anchi has mentioned, which is the development. It's very key and it's overlooked. Especially in Africa, it's not very common. And then we have the positioning, brand positioning. That's what managers do. We help you to know where you can fit in, where there's a gap, and then we have the representation. We be your voice, so that Uchomi sana, you're not all over, all over, so that you can concentrate on your craft. And then the rest is the business side of being able now to help you make decisions and help you actualize your vision, which is very important.
And maybe what made you decide to get into that space of being someone who manages talent?
Mine is a very personal story. The first artist I managed was a Tanzanian musician at the time. Her name is Vanessa Mde. We met in college.
I love how you're just saying it in passing, like a Tanzanian musician. Vanessa Mde?
The one and only
yes,
Vanessa Mde. And that's where I started. And my first year of working with her, guesswork. Yeah, I had no idea. I didn't really have somebody directly to look up to. I didn't know where to get information on how best to, support my friend. At the time, it's my friend. So that's where I started. I didn't go to school for any of this. I'm actually a kindergarten teacher by profession.
Oh.
Yeah, but I think it plays a big role because the amount of patience you need working with artists. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I think it plays. Yes. So that's how I started, and we just learned the ropes as we went along. I think around 2016 or 17 is around the year where we were like, okay, we need to get serious. We need to, treat this like a business, because in the beginning it's a little bit more informal. You're getting a lot of trips. You're taking a lot of trips. You're not really focusing on the business end of it. Like, are we opening a bank account? Are we, what you were saying, the business side of stuff. It was more of just like a hobby at the time. But in around 2016, 17, when we sat down and said, okay, this can actually be a means to make us money and take us very far, and that's how I am here now.
For you, Mike, I tend to think it's because you are an artist and maybe you saw that gap when you were in there.
A failed artist. Add the word failed.
A failed artist. I'm thinking you saw the gap when you were in the scene.
So by the year 2015 is when I formally stopped being a musician. And the decision was a hard one because my whole life was defined by music, in the sense that, yes, I went to school. I was at the University of Nairobi, but anyone who was there with me at that time knew this guy is a musician. Even this degree is doing, but ametumwa na baba. So, but when the year 2015 reached, I had like 7 years in it, and I saw this is not working. So after you've quit something you've done for so long, you try to find what will I do with myself. And by chance at that time now, that's when I had met my wife. She used to work at a studio I used to record at called Ogopa DJs. So at Ogopa, that's how, when I met her, she used to work there. And in the course of you finding what to do now, I don't have a career, what will I do? I asked her, you can be a publicist, and then me, I can do managing artists.
Yeah.
And that's how it began.
Yeah.
We registered the company in 2016. It was a step of faith, but I tend to feel God usually aligns things, because in the same year I met someone who has been very instrumental in me becoming who I am, which is the person is DJ Pinye, who I met through chance, in the sense that he had gotten some 2 girls called Banbeka, and he was asking them, do you know anyone who can manage you, because me, I'm too busy. And I came into their mind, me and my wife came. So that's how, by chance, I dived into this world of managing. So I can say it's a failed career led me to my career.
It led you to what you're doing right now that
Yes.
is flourishing.
Yes.
And I don't know, do Kenyan creatives or have Kenyan creatives embraced the managing thing? Because I feel like most Kenyan creatives, not just artists, creatives in general, because I feel every creative needs to have a manager who's managing them. Have they embraced really, or have we really embraced that term of talent management? You know, are we really looking to get into it fully, whereby we have every creative having a manager?
I think people have embraced it. The problem is in that the industry does not have structure. So say you get a manager, that person doesn't have a job description, they have nothing. You're just like, that's my manager, that's my manager. And even for me when I started, that's how it was. Vanessa would say, that's my manager. Now, I don't even understand really what that means or what it takes to do exactly that job. But I feel now, even in just you guys bringing like us together, I have never met Mike before, but we've sat in that room, and the short conversation we've had, I've realized us sitting down and talking and having a coffee will be us building that, you know, that the importance of that, and kind of like starting to structure what talent management looks like, so that we don't have new talent just coming, oh, my cousin, you tell your cousin, please come be my manager, come usimame hapo. They have no idea how to negotiate on your behalf. They don't know your value. They don't know what you're supposed to do as an artist. So I think we are getting there. Yeah, we are getting there.
Yeah, and what does it take for you to decide, I will manage this artist and not this one? I will manage this creative and not this one. So as a talent manager, what are you looking at before you start managing someone?
So for talent, before I answer that, I would like to speak a bit to add on. So in Kenya, there's a misconception in the sense that people know who managers are, but they don't know what managers do. People think managers are PAs to come with you in an interview and take content for you behind the scene. That's not the work of a manager. A manager is not there to be given instructions. A manager is your business partner. Since if you have a manager, basically it's a business. So you guys need to create a business structure around that. So it's something that has not been amplified a lot. So even you might be shocked that 3/4 of musicians don't know exactly what managers do. And it is through established artists who've had a proper structure of managers, them being able to articulate in that, them being in an interview and say, so and so is my manager and this is what he has done. He's been instrumental in doing this and this and this and this. So it's a conversation that needs to start and be ongoing. But I'm glad it's, several industries, people are able to see an artist who has a manager, the difference, and those ones who don't have. So that's what I wanted to add on that. So what we look for, like me now, Mike, since apart from the talent, managing musicians is managing an individual personalities, managing a person. So you must connect with the person first, in the sense that discipline has to be very key. Knowing where they want to go, or having an idea. If they don't know, having an idea so that you can help them have that path. And then them being willing to listen, because if it's a business partnership, you can't call the shots all the time. And since when you're an artist, you are a creative. Sometimes creatives make decisions that are not good for business, so they need to be reminded, hey, you can't do that. Chill, we're going this direction. So the person must be someone who is willing to listen and learn and unlearn. And then overall, it's having something within themselves that they want to achieve. Because I can't come into your vision, I can't come and create a vision for you and run it for you, so will be the artist. So basically, when I come into the picture, I'm coming to amplify, just to get, I'm coming to know exactly what do you want, why are you doing this, where do you want to go, and then now we create a plan so that we go together.
So one needs to have a plan.
Discipline,
on what
plan. But talent is very key, because there's some doors that talent will open for you, even if you have all that, because we've seen artists who are very, very good at branding. When you go to their Instagram, it's just motto. Mbwembwe. But there's no career there. And the people usually know that there's no career, that are the managers. In that outside, they appear like they're very successful musicians. But you stayed with them for 1 full year, you've not made a cent.
That actually happens more often than not. A lot of the talent you see around here, in Instagram too. But
there's no money.
There's no money. They probably can't even afford to take an Uber. They can't, and I mean this with all due respect to them. These are my people. So you find a lot of them live like that. Even for me, there's artists who I started managing last year, and not to blow my own horn, but to blow my own horn. The difference in their lifestyle, their self-esteem between last year and right now is just completely crazy.
But how do you get to a point where a talent or an artist or a creative is now making money, is bringing money into the pocket? Because as you said, most of them, it's just show, you know, they're living, it's a facade, it's all a facade. But how do we make it real? You know, as talent managers, when you start working with them, as you've said, the difference from before you started working with them to now that you have held their hand and you're working with them, you're behind them, what is it that you do so that it reflects in their pockets as well and their bank accounts?
So, first of all, the main thing is knowing that music is a tool, as in the songs, they are tools. And what a tool does, it opens the world to you, it brings opportunities to you, it enables you to get onto stages and rooms that you will not get in. So that's why you will see someone, they've had a popular song, and then they come out and tell you, do you know I'm broke? I didn't make any money. To normal people who are not in the music business, they usually don't understand. Haya, yo wimbo siko na 10 million views.
Unadoa aje. People than 1 million views ni wambo.
You see, do you know why it's like that? It's because now it has to be monetized. Anything that comes out of that, whether it's a hit song, whether it's you becoming famous because of a TikTok challenge, it has to be monetized. So that's how now getting to understand the revenue streams in the music business is very important, knowing that, so you're a musician, you will perform. Have we submitted your music to music distribution? Do we have a distribution deal with a company so that they can sell your music on Spotify or wherever? Do you have any other skill that can be monetized apart from you singing? So it's a long list of revenue streams, but now most of the time, without the information, an artist will only know 3. Performing, brand ambassador, stroke influencer nowadays, which has too much pressure. It has made artists become influencers. They'll tell you that, performing, influencer, stroke brand ambassadorship, and then what else? Streams. Yet selling my music on digital platforms. Yet we have other revenue streams. So it's you getting to know. So that's the benefit of having a proper manager like Anchi and Mike, because now they will know we really need to monetize this brand, and this is the time we need to do this project. This is the time we need to stop doing this. all that is centered around now the music business aspect of the talent, not the hit song, which is, the hit song is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not
everything.
The it. It's not
Yeah,
everything.
It's a step into the...
especially these days.
Yeah.
It's not everything. I think for me, at Creative Catalyst, like you said, the biggest moneymaker is social media. I am diving headfirst with that thing because for a talent to have that self-esteem we're talking about and to build themselves to where they have been, you have to have money. You have to, there's no two ways about it. You have to have money. You have to feel like what people think you are. Yeah, you have to. If you don't feel that, and if you don't have that attitude and energy, you kind of just will stagnate, right? So I am pushing them to do a lot of social media, but we are doing it within the talent. So for me, I don't have many musicians. I started with musicians, but I needed a break. I've done Vanessa, I've been with Sauti Soul. Those people took my life. So I also wanted to open up a bit into other parts of the arts. So right now, there's a lot of focus on film, and I also have some talent who are actually influencers. I've signed them and I manage them as their influencers. For that, I think business-wise, it makes a lot of sense because they bring in some income. The influencers directly bring in income. The actors have very big followings, meaning when we talk to agencies, we can ask for big amounts of money for them. Social media, like we were saying, the talent is a lot, but your social media plays a very big role. In 2024, if you don't have social media, you kind of can't. There's a lot of people who say, oh, you know, me, I'm different. I'm not going to do the social media thing. Let's see how far you're going to go.
There's no way out of that?
It's not possible.
Yeah.
That is our current newspaper. That's how we, a long time ago, we used to rely on this old school, you know, only TV and radio and what.
Twitter old school.
Traditional
media.
A lot has changed.
Yeah, traditional media. But now there's so many more avenues to, you know, to push yourself, and if you don't take advantage of them, it's very easy for you to get left behind.
Yeah, and I want to know where we're drawing the line, because there's something Mike has said, whereby now it's like we can't see the difference between, or we don't know how to differentiate an artist and an influencer, because now they're all going into influencing. So where do we draw that line, whereby an artist can still influence, but now atukuangali kama, okay, huyu siku hizi ni content creator.
Let me give you a very good example. Nyashinsky makes big money from social media, but nobody can call him an influencer. He's not there with the drink he's influencing, like making a cocktail and whatnot. As the manager, you have to kind of like assist them in that aspect. I'll give an example of Brian Kabugi. Brian has been a star from when he was a child. Right? He has a very big following on, a decent following on his social media. And brands are very interested in him because he speaks to a much younger audience who are many, and now they're all over TikTok and whatnot. And I keep reminding him that you're not an influencer, but because you're making money from it, we act kwa hizo videos za social media, because even when casting agents from abroad are looking for you, they'll come to your social media. If they find you there making a drink with, for example, I don't know if I can say this, with Sprite, which he's pushing, if he's creating a cocktail with it, it's not the same as if he makes a video where he's acting and actually showing the talent he has within that piece of content. Then it's not easy for him to be told, you're an influencer too. No, he's not. He's an actor, but he's pushing a brand. Right? So I'm a bit ishy if about that word influencer, but it is what it is.
And it's making the money.
Yes.
It is.
So you have to do, so for talents, if you're influencing and you want there to be a barrier whereby you're not seen as an influencer, you do what you do, but then you put your whatever it is. Yes, like for an artist, just release the music you're releasing, but have the brand of whatever you are influencing in the music, right? Not you coming to us telling us now this you know.
This product is this.
That's a digital creator.
Creator,
I've been thinking of
exactly.
that word. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a digital
So that's how you
creator.
draw that line.
Yeah.
So with a proper team and a brand strategy, you'll find a balance.
Yeah.
So it's just that most of them, they might not
Forget.
have the manager, or they
Yeah.
forget, they get lost.
Yeah.
By the time 1 year has ended, you start
You're
seeing
now
them
an
as
influencer.
an influencer instead
That's true.
of a musician and actor.
Yeah. Probably for someone who's watching us right now, because we even had an artist just before you guys came in who was talking about, you know, he really knows he needs a manager and all that, but he doesn't know where to start. So maybe for a talent who's watching us right now, how do you go about picking who to, okay, you've mentioned that, but
Yeah.
do you go out scouting? Do you go out scouting for this talent, or can the talent look for you and come tell you, okay, I would love for you to manage me? So do you go out scouting, or you allow them to also just come to you?
It's two-way.
Yeah.
It's two-way. And so an artist can look out for me, or I can look out for them. An example is like the second artist I worked with, who is Otile Brown. He reached out to us because at that time he had gotten out from the label he was working with. So he knew he needed someone to help him just start running, basically. So it's him who reached out that, hey, you guys, I want to work with you. So we had a meeting and it happened. We have artists that when we, in our daily activities online, you see this guy has potential, or you see this person has a following, but they are lost. You can reach out. So it's two-way. So whether you are established or you are an upcoming, but the bottom line is if you're a talent out there, it is you to be in the know of what's happening, be in the know of who are talent managers out there, because ignorance will not help you in any way. It's you knowing what's happening, so that now it's easy for you to reach out via DM, because most of our profiles, they usually have contacts in case you need to reach out, so that you can send your demo or whatever, arrange a meeting. And that's what we look for, because we in business, so we are looking for serious people to work with.
Yeah.
So how you present yourself is what will determine me taking you up, whether you are new or you're not new.
Do you have enough talent managers in Kenya?
No.
No.
Yeah.
No, in fact, I was going to say the reason why I currently manage 8 talents. I don't think I reached, like I looked for any of them. Currently, my DM is full of talent. I don't even know like where to start with it. Like, I'm honestly overwhelmed. So one of my really good friends is Bian's wife. Her name is Chiki. And in fact, I wanted to talk to you about this next week, but here we are. And we are coming up with a masterclass for talent managers, because I want more. I want to have 100. Yeah, I don't want to have only 8, because we have such good talent here, but they have no direction. And it's so easy to see. Even one thing I go through a lot is like my emails. I feel like, this is just my own mentality, but I feel like for talent, if you go that step and send me an email, you may try. A DM is very easy to send me, yeah, but if you go that next step, so I go through every single email that comes in, and the potential is crazy, but I don't have the capacity to take all of them. Yeah, I absolutely not, but that's part of building the industry, where the talent are so many, but if we don't have managers to manage that talent, then it all just goes nowhere. Yeah. You find, like we were talking about an artist, they just go and disappear, and you're like, what happened to so-and-so? And they're just gone completely. And they were probably so great, but they didn't have somebody to cushion them, to hold their hand through it. Yeah. Yeah.
And I really like that idea of master classes,
Yeah.
because it's related to the conversation we were having in the waiting lounge, where we were saying talent management is a very new career path in Kenya, still new. Some of us, even our parents, they have no clue what we do. Yes, they have an idea.
Aki, thanks for having
They
us
still
here.
ask,
My
uta-
mom.
uta-
We
utafanya
deal,
kazi lini?
wana deal na ma DJ na musician what wanaimba, you see.
Yeah.
So it's a very foreign career path, in the sense that there are no people who are structured, that you can look up to their template and say, So when this guy was new, he did this. When she was new, she did this. So it's a good way of us stopping whining, us who are there, us, and coming up with such forums so that now we can spot people who have the potential of being future managers and just sharing with them the knowledge that we've built over the years, the networks that we have, so that we build an industry. Any other industry, that's how they've grown in that. If you happen to be the first one and you have an idea of how that world operates, share and bring up the others.
Don't get
that is what will solve this problem of us not having enough money. I don't think even if it's a percentage, when we compare the amount of talent and talent managers in the country, it's not even 1%. Less. Less.
Yeah, so there's need for more talent managers to jump on board. We need to finish, unfortunately. But money-wise, how do you go about like working with money in terms of what do you get, what the artist gets, what the creative gets, you know, and how do you also avoid conflict? Because we know that pesa huleta vita saa zingine. So how do you work about that?
For me, one thing that has been very strict in Creative Catalyst is legal, contracts, because nimechomeka. Hey, you know, with artists, you become, as their manager, you're like their best friend. They tell you everything. You're there for them, blah, blah, blah. But it's so easy for when the money comes in, like, okay, best friend, thanks so much for your help, because you can't even quantify the work I've done for you. Even for them, it's hard. You know, I can't put full blame on them. For them, it's difficult to say, okay, maybe I should give Anchi this much. So when I started Creative Catalyst, I said mine is going to be 20%. I just did some homework of what's on the ground, what's done internationally, and any money that's brought in for the talent, I take 20% of it, and that's how the company is able to run.
Yeah, so the important thing here is have it down on paper.
Contract.
Never stop.
Both for your interest and for the interest of the talent.
Business, and there's no friendship.
Yes.
That is the bottom line.
Unfortunately, we have to wind up this conversation. I feel like that time was really
short
for this conversation, but we can always have you guys back so that we can talk more about it, so that we can, because this, as you said, it's quite new in the Kenyan industry. So I feel like we should really talk about it and create awareness about, you know, talent managers and why it's important for a creative to have a talent manager who's backing them up, so that we get to grow the industry, because that is what we're looking at. We're looking at the Kenyan music industry or the Kenyan creative industry as a whole to just get to blow off, you know, like the likes of South Africa, the likes of Nigeria. We need to get there because we have the capability. We have enough talent in this country to enable us to just, you know, be the talk of the continent. Thank you so much, Anchi. Thank you so much, Mike, for joining us for this conversation. I believe that when we call you again, you'll come back.
Of course.
All right. This is where we call it a wrap right here on Good Morning Kenya. Thank you so very much for keeping us company on Entertainment Thursday. From me, DJ Unique, and the entire team of Entertainment Thursday, Good Morning Kenya, we wish you a lovely day. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing. Goodbye.